Today we are going to know a very good morning all. Today we are going to know the performance appraisal methods. In these methods we have two types of methods. One is traditional method, again it classified into 11 methods, and the second one is modern methods. It classified into 5 methods. The first method is in traditional methods, the rating method. In the method of grading, some of the categories have been made in advance and must be defined in a careful manner. 3 categories can exist in total. They should be named as outstanding, unsatisfactory, and satisfactory. There could be several more columns for the grades if you want, if it that way. The performance of your employees has often been compared with the definition of grades. The employee then has to be allocated which describes them the best in terms of performance. So such type of grading can be done in the method of semester, especially when it comes to selection of the candidates in public and private sector. The only negativity about this method is that all employees could be placed in the better side in terms of performance. So majority of the people, they will be in above the 6 and above, sometimes it may be above 8. That depends on the performance given by the employees as well as the role of managers in the organization. So in this method, we can consider some of the facets like attendance, behavior towards subordinates, sincerity, dependability. So these are all showing that whether the employee is good at performance or not. So these are the factors which influencing the performance of your employee, because if they are attending well, it means that they are satisfied. That is the first one. The second one is, if you come regularly to the organization, you can produce the more. So low attendance gives us low productivity. And if your behavior with subordinates is good, so automatically the productivity level may increase because of coordination and cooperation among you and your subordinates. And then sincerity towards the objective and the organization. You don't take it as only organizational purpose, it may be the social purpose, because you and your organization is a part of society, and then you should be very sincere about your work role and your organization as a whole society. And then dependability. So every person or every employee in the organization, they may depend either on their own work, or else they can get the instructions from their supervisor. So it may be one of the best tool that we can get the performance measure. So these are all come under the rating method. The second one is paid comparison method, paired. So in that we have simple thing, A to B, A to C, A to D, A, B to C. So these are the combination. In this method, we can check whether how A is paired with B, C, D, and then what is their performance. When B is paired with C and D, what is the result? And the C is paired with D, and what is the result? So we can measure the performance, and then based on that, which combination is good, which pair is good, and based on that we can give them. For example, if you take that A and B, they can produce 90. A and D, they produce 92. B and D, they can produce 100. So B and D is the best pair. So when the combination is good, and then they can produce the more, so that we can easily get the more performance from your employees. So next method is forced choice method or forced distribution method. So here on x-axis we take the forced distribution curve, and y-axis we take the number of employees. So here when you take consideration, we have taken 5-scale method, the Likhart's 5-scale, that is poor, below average, average, good and excellent. So the method of forced distribution method came into existence years ago and is being practiced till this day. It comes with a branch of statements, and the rater is expected to show how efficiently or effectively every statement will describe every individual and how it must be evaluated. Common methods or choice methods come with 2 statements which could be negative or positive. A few examples of positive statements includes giving proper and clear instructions, can be relied on whenever a task has been assigned. Negative statement makes such promises which are beyond his limit, favors some of the employees. So these are all come under your positive statements, so that they can answer. Yes, for example, if you ask that the proper and clear instructions given by the management, yes, you can give it a good, or if you give it a excellent. So these two are near, but we have a small edge between good and excellent. So in this manner, we can get, or we can take the performance appraisal, and we can evaluate it, and based on that we can take this one. And the next one is forced choice method. So in choice method we have rating, regularly on the job, most or least. So you can ask some questions like always regular, inform in advance for delay, never regular, remain absent, neither regular nor irregular. So this is one factor, regularity on the job. So how you are regular is, yes, for example, if you give an answer that it is most, it is least, it is most, it is least, it is most. So these are all come under your forced choice method. And the next one is field review method. Field review method. In field review method, we can consider the 4 or 360-degree. For example, if you take every employee, they either they have superior, subordinate, colleagues are called as peers, and then the customer. So these 4 are 4 quadrants of a circle. So in this manner, we can review them, and then with this review, we can ask the questions on the dimensions. What dimensions? Performance dimensions. In performance dimensions, we take some of the important dimensions like motivation, decision making skills, interpersonal skills, leadership, communication, technical skills. So these are all very important performance dimensions, and you can answer any of you can answer all the questions. You can choose any of number of choices. For example, leadership, subordinate is good, peers good, supervisor is good, and then customer is. You can give all the tick marks. It's not a worry about it. So because these 4 are 4 different dimensions. So these are all the relationship with you and the other people in your organization. So this is one of the key method, which generally we call it as a 360-degree appraisal method. In this, we can maintaining a good relationship with your subordinates, superiors, the peers, and the customers. Critical incident method. So in this method, we can check in which situation, in a particular situation, how can you behave, or how can you give information to your superior or your management. For example, if you take a fire or sudden breakdown or an accident, so then what will you do? So it is a critical incident in your organization, because the awareness about the general things, especially the fire, water system, or any emergency issues, or something happened, or an accident met in a production system, or else in a godown, or else an inventory place, then what will you do? You have to know, you have to check the precautions, and then who to report to whom, how can you share the information, what is the process. So for example, if a fire in your organization existed, then immediately you have to go for alarm, and you can press it. So everybody should aware of it, and then they can take their own precautions. So at least they can try to get out from that particular place. So that is a very crucial part, because it is also one of the key measure, which is also one of the key measure. So you have to give the scaling, and they can give the answers. So for example, you have the worker A, B, C, D, E, and then what are their responses? Worker A has given the information to be passed to the supervisor immediately. So it was a good one, because the supervisor has immediately taken charge, and then they can do whatever the best thing, or that situation will be handled by the supervisor with the help of the other members. So immediately we can get a solution. So this is give a scale as the 5. The worker A has given a good reaction. So obviously we have another response from worker B. It become anxious and a loss of output. So you immediately take care about what are the production, or whatever the output you given to your organization. You have to safeguard those output. That's also one of the good reason, so that you will give a 4 scale. And third person is very moderate, because he tried to repair the mission. He tried to repair the mission. So when you have a problem or a sudden breakdown of a mission, so that you try to repair. So it is your essential job. So if it is done, so you will get a prize from your supervisor or manager. And worker D, the complaints for poor performance. So if you complain, means you are unable to do it. You are nothing to do, in simple. And the last one is was happy to force test. So they can give it for the test. Next, graphic scale method. So this is also like our field review method, but it is somewhat a simple thing. We have taken the number of work dimensions, and then level of performance. We can take the employee name, the department, job title. So for example, employee name Ramakrishna, department management department, job title assistant. So performance level poor, fairly good, good and excellent. So we can take the measures, how he is attending for the classes, how his behavior towards the students, sincerity about the subject, and class management, and in what are his dependability. So we can give the answers. So this is one type of uh, rating scale, but here we represent it with graphics. So after that, we can show it in a graph, and then everything is fine. It's a simple thing. We can use it in Excel. And the next one is checklist method. What are the checklist? We have so many questions for checklist. We simply have yes or no questions, whether you are coming regularly or not, and you maintain a discipline or not. What are your behavior with your colleagues? So what about your job interest? You keep mistaking the same as past. So you can answer yes, yes, no, no, yes, 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 no, no. So that the manager or supervisor can checklist all these questions, and they can evaluate, and based on that they can give the appraisal. We can take a number of combinations also. We don't feel that you only take only one test or one method for performance appraisal. You can take a, you can use graphical scale method as well as the checklist method, so you can get a better result. Essay evaluation method, so itself it treats that it is an essay. The writer is asked to express the strong as well as the weak points of employees behavior, so they can consider the employee's job knowledge and potential, understanding the company's programs, the policies and objectives, relation with the co-workers and supervisors. What about the planning, organizing and controlling activity, the attitude and performance, the perception of your employees towards the job. So these are all evaluated by giving you an essay. So you have to write what about your job, and then how can you do it effectively. You just try to for 3 or 4 lines of answer. So every question has a 3 or 4 lines answer, so that based on that they can evaluate it. Because the oral presentation is at one extent, and then the written communication or written format is one. Here they can take a design either orally or writtenly, but in most of the cases for appraisal system we don't go for today we don't go for this, because everybody they have to manage their mind, and they can answer to the positive sense to the organization. For example, if anybody asks me, what about your understanding our company program or policy? Yes, yes, definitely I am very strong association with my company policies and programs. Nobody says that, no, I don't know what are the programs. I am not liking my company policies. I don't want to accomplish my company objective. Nobody says that. So that's the reason we don't, today the most of the HR people, they won't consider or they won't try for the essay evaluation method. So the next one is the management by objective. It's simply called, it is a MBO, which is already covered, but I just take it once. So we can managing by objective. So you have an objective, you define it, and then based on that you can execute your policy or else strategy. So every time you have these things, you can define your employee objectives, and you can continuously monitoring whether your employees are working for the organizational objective or not. You can review it. For example, in review, if you have find anything which is not matched with the organizational goal, you simply change, and then one particular objective is accomplished automatically. We have another objective, because the organizational objective or goal is very big. So you can get the feedback, and then based on that feedback you can give the performance appraisal. So sometimes it may be a reward, or sometimes it may be a punishment. That's we have already known very well about the management by objective. And then 360-degree appraisal system. So this is one of the important today. The most of the companies, they have to get the 360-degree responses from the people. For example, the most important thing in 360-degree is the boss and his opinion towards an employee. The boss and the team members and the colleagues, team members are different and colleagues are different. And the customer, the staff, and the self. Here, the self-assessment and boss assessment is very key, because the boss has given that based on your performance at the original work. And second one is, how can you evaluate yourself? What are your strengths, and how you are, what is your attitude towards the organizational job, that are defined by you, your self-analysis. So these two are key areas. Apart from, we have these four. which are considered for appraising an employee. Behavioral anchored rating scale. So here we check only the behavioral aspects of your employees. So generally we use the 7-point scale, and then we can get these results. For example, if you take 7 as a scale, they can expect a trainee to make valuable suggestions for increased sales and to have positive relationship with customers all over the country. And then if you take the good, can accept to initiate creative ideas for improved sales. And then if you take the poor, can expect to inform only a part of the customer. So extremely poor, they can expect to take extended coffee breaks and roam around purposefully. So these are the 7 scale behavioral anchored rating scale method. It is generally used for knowing the behavioral considerations of your employees. So if you are giving a 7 points to a particular employee, means that they are maintaining a good relationship with all their customers and the other people who are very key for business operations. So if you give the 4, it is just an average. You can manage with difficulty to deliver the goods in time. So every point has its own significance. So 1 is poor and then 7 is extremely good. So next concept is assessment centers. In assessment centers, we have entry exercises, psychometric test, the social side, presentations, interviews, and group exercises. For assessing an employee, we can we have given some entry exercises so that they can perform. Based on their performance, we can go for an appraisal. And the second one is psychometric test, which is for evaluating the psychoanalytical aspects of an employee, so that whether their attitude and the other things that will be evaluated with this test, it is a general sense. And every organization, they have to test the psychological aspects of an employee because it is very important for getting an appraisal by the organization. And then how you are social, that's also very important for assessment center, because in the contents of assessment center, you have to be manageable with your intrapersonal personality, and you can manage the society with your attitude and personality. That's very important aspect in assessment centers. They test everything, and you can go for good presentations. And in presentations, every employee should know what are their objective and an organizational objective, and then how can they cope with the organizational effectiveness. And then in the interviews, we can get the exact communication between you and the SSR. The employees generally they are treated as interviewees, and then the interviewer asks different questions, and it is maybe face-to-face interaction between these two parties, so that we can assess them. And then the last one is group exercise. So assessing an individual is different, and assessing a group is different. So for a group, we give an as a exercise, and they can do it in collaboratively. So cost accounting method, human resource accounting is the process of assigning the budgeting and reporting the cost of human resources incurred in an organization, includes wages and the salary and the training expenses. We know very well the cost includes all the expenses incurred on them, like their compensation, recruitment and selection cost, induction and training cost. So in this method, the performance appraisal of employees is judged in terms of cost and the contribution of the employees. So this is the a general method. So if you are in good profits, we can appraise with money and other financial rewards to your employees. So thank you very much. We covered all the traditional methods and modern methods. Please, all of you, please